What up, Steph? I brought up 1997, didn't see you, and I was sad about it. I was like, fucking talking about 1997, and my girl ain't even in here. She ain't even in here to witness 1997. It's getting spicy in here. It's getting spicy. Oh, shit. Shit. How do I move it so I could be side by side? I don't know how to do that. See, I just keep moving it around.
You have to check on the enhance and go to grid and make it 2 people, maybe. I don't know.
Check on the hand. Okay, let me see. And it says, okay, this says expand. Oh my
That's
God.
cool, man.
That's better. That's better, but it's not a free invite. That's why I hate having like all the little boxes.
What's the questions?
Yeah, so I just so I'm trying to figure out who's the real Check? What part is as you do a lot of satire shit. So I'm like, I want to see through, and I'm like, he seems like he's trying to talk some sense. So like when you were in that house, were you like talking sense to any of these young girls? Like, hey, you got a lot of potential, or you could do this, or you could do that. No?
No, I wasn't hanging out with those girls. That's not my place. That's not why I was there. And I didn't really understand what I was doing there, like what they were doing there.
So when you were going there, we were just gonna go there to make content? That was the whole part?
I went there for Santo's birthday. I was supposed to copyright Nunu. He wanted me to do the copyright to Nunu before Miss Golden did it. Miss Gold or whatever her name is. Because I know how to copyright music federally.
Oh, we know.
So he wanted me to do that. And I got there. Once I got there, I was like, oh shit, this is way bigger than what I thought it was. Like, I thought I was just making music. Like, what the fuck? So then they got rid of the baby like within not even 12 hours of me being there. Felt like I could breathe, whatever. Then it just became a snowball going downhill. And I was like, I'm out.
So yeah, and we saw that you did leave, but that was also a controversy because they were like saying they were kicking you out at that time. You said you left on your own accord. They're saying that they kicked you out of the house because you didn't.
Who's they?
They meaning like Santos and Bris.
Valet made a joke. Bri was just talking shit after Valet started the rumor. I left on my own recognizance. Me and Valet made a little joke about how I was getting kicked out. We was just doing it for views. When I came back for the parody of me bringing Ice Spice and Juju, that little prank, I declared basically to the internet, look, I'm just doing this to prove a point to y'all mother truckers that keep saying I got kicked out. Obviously, I can do what I want. Jordan bluntly said a million times he's welcome whenever he wants. I can go there right now. But not now, you know what I'm saying? I already spoke out on everything that I needed to. It's done. Like, I have nothing else to say but good riddance, you know what I'm saying?
But you guys are still kosher though. Like, who do you still like have a relationship with at the house?
I'm not kosher with anyone, but I can contact Jordan professionally just because he seems to be the most level-headed one that I can have a conversation with. But do I want to do business with any of them? No, I don't really care for any of them.
Now, can you like clarify? Are you going to talk to us about the knuckles, the brass?
Everyone keeps asking this weird dude. How about y'all tell Mop this question, who has already admitted 100 times that there was no brass knuckles. He only said it for clout.
You know what it is? Because a T page had posted some like video, but it was so fucking far back and it was blurry.
No, I seen the T page. Mop said, I got a hard head for getting hit with brass knuckles, and only doing this shows that I got a hard head. Then he told Santos, I bet you $100,000 you won't find a clip of me saying I got hit by brass knuckles. It all started from Santos lying. I mean, from, what's his name? Mop lying, and from Valet lying and saying he probably got hit with brass knuckles. Like, I don't know. There's been talk of it, but to say that I seen brass knuckles, that would be me lying. And I would love to be like, yeah, he did it, but nah, I don't know that.
But speaking of the lying, you also said that you guys were sleeping and you weren't even outside, but y'all were all outside.
No, I was sleeping. If you look in the video, I was the last one out. I heard the screaming. I grabbed my phone. I started recording. The fights were already occurring by the time I came outside. I was on the first floor. So the video tells on itself. Speaking about lying, that was a good try on the call out, but I was definitely sleeping.
You were sleeping. Okay, so you went out after. You didn't see the whole Mop situation, so that was prior to Chris, right?
No, because I was sleeping, correct. I was sleeping.
So you came out after that when Santos was coming back into the house?
Correct. And I have that on film as well. I didn't put the whole thing, but when I came out, if you look at that 2K this. You look at it, I am literally holding my phone coming out of the door. I am the last one out. And Travis was already fighting Chris. And I got the back end of that fight. Then the beginning, which I wasn't there for, was Mop versus Santos.
Who ran out before you in that camera? Who was that?
Random dude that's friends with Santos. I don't know who.
It wasn't that Shorty Babe's ex? Rich Cardi B?
No, that wasn't. No,
Rich Cardi Boy or whatever? Okay.
Yeah,
So he was there that night, and then all that stuff broke out. So I thought that was him in that hoodie.
Yes, he was there earlier that night. The guy that came out was some Spanish guy that was friends with Santos. I don't know. He didn't do anything either. He minded his business.
So now, are you going to like leak information based on? This is my theory. I just want to know. Like, you don't have to answer it, but my theory is that you got some collateral that you could make moves on. So you're like, hey, Jordan, probably be best on your part to give me back what you took from me, or I'm going to release something else.
Nobody took nothing from me. Nobody took nothing from me. That would be blackmail. I don't need to do.
But what about that check? That didn't they take away your thing on Kick, your Kick deal? Because you've been speaking on it.
So what? It can happen.
So I was just wondering if you were going to try to get, you have something that would give that deal back to you.
It takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to make a call to put it back on. You know what I mean? If they wanted to do that, they would have already done that. There's no reason for me to play nice when I've already said enough. I hosted a live today for 4 hours about awareness, about how the women were getting graphic, the women were getting put on seeking. You just weren't watching, so you just got to be attentive.
So hopefully there's a clip of that, because that's the part that I wanted you to be more vocal.
Everywhere, me and Stella held a 3-hour live about it to bring awareness. So understand there's time and place for everything, man. And you have to understand, I play dumb and always come out with the truth. But everybody always want to target check and be like, oh, he's a liar. Well, when I say the truth, I'm a liar. Well, guess what? I try to tell the truth. Now y'all go run with I'm a liar, okay?
I don't think you're a liar, though. I just think...
Everybody likes to say. But at the end of the day, I get in the mix. You say you get in the wrong places. No, I get in the right places, because that's what an entertainer does. They stay in the mix. A journalist gets in the mix. A journalist, someone that wants to cover news, someone that's in the news, someone that wants to be seen, is always in the scene. If you're not in the scene, you won't be seen. So what I do is respectfully get in the scene to be seen. Call it what you want. It's called being successful and an entertainer. I am just able to do things others can't. I am lucky that my baby mama takes care of my children so that I can take a flight for a week and go be involved in some BS that doesn't affect me in real life, and respectfully sign out of it and come back and bring awareness to it. Yes, will I catch a couple ping pows on the way? That's fine. I can handle it. But when I come out of it, I'll be able to speak the truth. And that's how I run myself, my platform. That's what I do. People can judge me, but at the end of the day, the only judge I got to face is God Almighty. I ain't worried about what nobody has to say about me.
Now, can you speak any more on Jordan or Danny Fitzgerald?
What about Jordan? I don't know no Danny Fitzgerald.
Jordan's dad is what I mean. Jordan's dad. Jordan's dad, like...
That old man was just sitting there making his little breakfast and hanging out with his son or something like that. Like, I didn't talk to his dad, so I have
Does he live there?
Nah, he just be in and out of there. But he stays there some nights. So it's like, can I say he lived there? Yeah. Can I say he don't? Yeah. I don't know. But he be in there. A lot of people be in there that they don't talk about. There's clippers. I've already talked about this. So in the first floor.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people that pop up in the frames like, who the fuck's that guy?
So you have to be aware. Me and Stella brought awareness to something. And I'm so glad that Stella brought it out. Stella literally said, I'm glad Check was real with me, because Itai tried to wake me up in the middle of my sleep, came in my room while I'm sleeping, and I'll be honest, they had 6 guys outside of her door lined up for her. Honestly, there's shit y'all don't know. And I protected my friend in the name of God. I was able to be awake and be able to do things to prevent situations from occurring to her. And God, she put that platform out there, and I was just like, I'm so thankful that you're even speaking on this, Stella. Like, it just happened. We just got off live probably like an hour ago. I took a break, and yeah, it's been a lot. It's all over the T pages. Like, we really brought out a lot of...
I take T pages with a grain of salt, though. That's why I said when I'm trying to figure out who you are, because I go to watch you. I'll go to watch Stella. I want to see the person's involved, you know?
What is your name?
Coral.
Coral, okay. Coral, this is just a part of what I've been through. So it's like 12 years of trying to explain to you where I've started, and then 37 years of telling you who I am. I'm 37, dude. Like, I am not a child. I'm not here to prey on no kids. I don't want to hook up with nobody. Can't nobody even tell you the last person I hooked up with. Like, I don't do this. Okay, I am an entertainer. I do get in the mix, but I don't hurt nobody. Can't nobody say, oh, he took advantage of me. He took money from me. None of that. If anything, I provide money. I provide situations. I bring, the bottle to the table or whatever. I bring the good time. I don't ever bring negativity. I'm not here for that. Do I banter online? Yeah, that's the worst people could say. All right, I argue online.
No, but what about like you when you were there? That you weren't trying to be like, girl, you should probably get out of here. It's not safe for you. Like you didn't try.
Again, yes, I did. So don't do that.
I'm asking. This is a question, Jack. I didn't accuse you. I asked you.
So
Is it like Frozen?
then you said, but no, you didn't.
Oh.
And me and Stella talked about it today, which was very awesome.
Oh yeah, you were
Can you hear
freezing.
me?
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't accuse you. I'm
Can you hear me?
asking. I don't ever. I am a fact finder, and
right.
if it's just hearsay, I'm not gonna roll with it because to me that's not facts. It's some T page. That's not facts.
So Stella came out with more evidence than you could ever think, and I was so happy. She has video surveillance. She had a baby monitor in her room the entire time she was there. So she recorded everybody that ever walked into that room, down to the conversation that me and her had when I said, I think I know what's going on here. It's time to go. So I can finally sleep happy after bringing it all out from the fight to Stella coming out and saying, yo, Check really came in. And look at the chat. I don't know if you can see it. We really
Yeah.
washed. I was able to wash my hands and really have Stella voice what I had to do in that situation. There's girls I can't help because they're lost in the stigma. They're lost to the, how can I say this? Santos has some girls, I don't want to say the word wrong, but okay, stigmatized. I don't know if you could understand, like got them under a spell. And like other ones are like just looking for attention. Stella don't need that. So respectfully, I was like, yo, before you get wrapped up into this on accident, because they're putting you in this, all right, basically they wanted her to go to the Bahamas with Mia. She came out with that. They had 6 guys outside of her room at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get into her room and shit. Etai went in there to wake her up. I had to stop, make it awkward, make all kinds of fucking weird vibes go on, make it look like I was sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just really disrupt the scene, and then went in there and I was like, yo, you need to get out of here. I'm leaving tonight. Like, I don't care about this shit no more. I'm gone. And she was like, please don't leave. And that's the only reason she finally came out with it as to why I stayed an extra day until she finally left. Because Stella really...
Well, that's honorable too, because you're trying to respect somebody that you actually formed a bond with. And I saw that you guys were already connected before you went into that house. Like you had already been cool with Stella before showing up there. So I knew that you guys had like that bond. So I'm glad that at least you were being respectful of her. But why was she wanting to go back then? Because I saw the live yesterday where she was saying she was going to...
I got you. So she wanted to go back, which I found out about today. She wanted to go back and she was playing nice. She had a girl named Becca on the live as well. I guess she like has been with DK or Santos and all these people, whatever. Becca was a plot, and so were a couple other girls to set Brie up. So Stella was playing nice, sending valet roses, trying to get play. She let this all out, so I'm not talking shit. Stella said, I'm just playing nice with all these girls to get back in their good grace and come in there and set them up. I already had the girls lined up. We were going to get an Airbnb down the street. Like, she had this whole plan. But, Stella does a little too much, just like I do. She's like, I feel like she's a female version of me. I said it a couple times already. But imagine if, like, I went out of my way to book a flight just to set the boys up. I'd be taking an L. Like, it's a waste of my time. Can I beat their ass? Can I bring some people with me and fly over there? Of course. But what will I be proving? And that's what I was trying to tell Stella as well. Like, I understand the thought process. It's cool that you thought about it. But let that shit go, man, because that ain't going to be a W for you. And she started getting it, and it went into her trying to be entertaining and stimulate people's mind with something about witchcraft. And I was like, all right, yeah, you lost me. I'm gone. Like, I'm not going to play with this. But overall, it was a wholesome conversation until she started playing with the whole witchcraft and something about Santos. I don't know. You got to watch the recaps if people caught it. But
So coming from, because I'm over 40, right? So we in the that middle age class there, but like, I watch this shit like a novella. I'm gonna be honest. Like, to me, it's just characters, and I'm just trying to figure out if the characters are truthful or not, or what's going on, or what's real and what's fake. And that's just basically what it is. It's nothing. I'm not one of these people that's gonna be like, hey, what's going on? But however, when it comes to DV, domestics, anything like where these girls are being trafficked, that's where I start getting, my mind starts going. I've went down a rabbit hole on Danny Fitzgerald. I don't know if you ever looked, but since you've been in that house and you like to, okay, listen, speaking of cloud chasing or speaking of getting a story out there that's going big, I noticed I've been pumping your YouTube and everybody's going to it. And a lot of people are, everybody that asked me, I plug them to them, go to your YouTube. You should be out on that YouTube and speaking more on the trafficking side or things that you have saw that could prevent other girls that potentially will go into that house to save or to help somebody. Now, you can't save a hoe that don't want to be saved. If she goes up in that house, she knows the deal.
I want to pause you because it's not my responsibility to do that. And I held the past 2 days dedicated to that. If I overexhaust myself and I keep pouring into that cup, I'm not going to be able to do anything with myself. So I have to respectfully take a break for myself. Though you have not seen it, I have been streaming for the past 2 days specifically about this entire situation and was able to bring someone like Stella to step up and say, I was a part of this. I saw this. Check did that. He stopped this. I was only eating because of Owen and Check. Like, there's a lot of different things that came out. I also spoke about other things like OnlyFans and how these people control these girls and digitally pimp them. I've said a lot. Like, you don't know because I haven't said it on your platform, but I've said it on other platforms, including my own with other co-hosts. Like, I'm not. But
not recorded though, right? Just clips, so we get to see.
Yes, I have.
You know how T pages work though? They clip the things that aren't full content.
With all due respect, my pages, like my YouTube, is about music. It's not about that. So I don't want to damper my audience and fuck it up. Because I am a musician. Like, this isn't, yo no soy de novela. I'm not an actor. Like, this isn't my tea. This isn't my thing. I just happen to be wrapped up in it, and it attracts views, which gets people to know me. But at the end of the day, I do music. Like, that's the only reason I came into that fucking house was to copyright a song and write a stupid hook like that. Okay, you couldn't originally write any shit. Like, that dumb shit, I just wrote that shit down real quick, got paid, and got on my way. I provided the studio, the engineer, and the producer. I got out the way. Like, I don't have any personal feelings to 2K. I don't hate him. I don't like him. It's none of my business. I need to stop entertaining because the internet is what feeds me getting into it and finds me commenting. Really don't care. But to talk about it, I'll use this platform to talk about it because I do cheese me on here. I do opinionate myself a lot. So I will talk about it on my TikTok.
Yeah, but maybe like post something so we can hear what you're doing. Like, it's on
my Kick. It's on my Kick. So I stream on Kick, and if anybody wants to cover it and see, oh my God, did Check bring awareness to it? Oh my gosh.
Well, yes, you know why, Check, I say that is because I did a dive on you because I was just trying to figure out who you were, and I was looking back at your stuff, and the first thing it says underneath your name is it says that you are a DV advocate. So I was like, if he's an advocate, then why is he not advocating more? I'm expecting you to advocate more. So because you're there, you know?
Yeah. Well, I brought awareness to it. But there's not much that I can do other than bring awareness to it and try to help people get out of it. But it's up to those people to get out of it. I can't drag people by their ankles. Like, I would be just as fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't do it. So all I could do, since I was there, I spoke to a girl named Jaden. She was mad cool. She opened up to me about how she felt forced by Santos. I just don't want to be in, there's sticky situations that I don't have proof of and shit like that. And then it'll be hearsay.
Yeah, you don't
hearsay. There's certain lines I don't want to cross legally. I'm still a musician. But there's certain girls, like even Mia, I don't know where the girl is, so I can't be like, oh, she's in the Bahamas with Danny. I can't say that. Like, that's a lie. Like, I don't know. It could be true. I don't fucking know. But everyone wants an answer out of me, and I can't because I don't know.
Yeah, because you'd be speculating and creating some lies that could actually hurt people.
And I don't want to be a liar. So I'll say my truth. I'll say what I've seen, how I feel about something, but I can't sit here and lie to you. Do I feel like Mia's okay? Probably not, honestly. She's probably hanging out. So I think she's safe? Yeah. Do I think she's willingly probably allowing the situation? Yes. Does she know what she's doing? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, she was under substances from the last time I seen. So what can I do? I can't help someone that I don't know. I don't know her number. I never really, like, engaged in the conversation. Like, everyone keeps asking me about the girl. I don't know.
So they have something crazy going on in the house. You're never going there again. No
I
matter
have no
what.
reason to do that. Dude, I could have been back there 100 times. I have no reason. Right? What? No.
No, I'm just saying,
No.
like, there was something like huge going on, and like you wanted, like, now, they have a collab type situation. You would never go back.
If I wanted to pull up, I could have pulled up. There's been many situations in which I could, but I'll tell you this. The only way for me to ever walk into that house, it would be without any of those individuals present. So let's say that house was hosting a party and those people weren't present and they had nothing to do with the original Clout House. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would visit the Clout House. I wouldn't visit the shenanigans. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. But I also believe that they wouldn't put you involved with too much shenanigans because they all do know, like, you
No,
have.
they didn't even do it this time, but I'm smart enough to pick up on some things. And Stella came out with some tea. I was like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. Like, I knew it, but I didn't know it. Get what I mean? Like, when we start thinking, yeah, we know that. But hearing it from a female is like, oh shit, that's crazy.
But I'll be quite honest, though. I believe more of what you say than versus what I see of Stella. I think Stella genuinely needs to help herself. But I feel like she does so much satire when it comes to her baby's dad that it's like, does she want to be saved or does she not? I don't know. You know, it's hard for me to believe her.
I hear you because it's hard to take her serious because she's a good actress. I hear you on that. But I think she just likes to overly stimulate the mind because she knows it's entertaining. She learned from the Island Boys. Let's just be honest. I don't think she's a bad person, though. I don't think she means harm, but this is the truth. Like, what we're talking about is the truth. Whether or not she's acting and being jealous or whatever with her baby daddy, we don't know that to be true or not. But we're interested. Motherfucker, we watch him. We're like, oh, shit, she tripping. We don't know if she is or not. It's funny. She's doing a good job. I applaud the acting. Maybe she'll get a career out of it. Oh, well. But this is real. There's people with real lives. She's not pretending to be getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? It's a different situation.
Now, what's the whole deal with Ruby then? Why is she there? Because I don't see her doing any value either.
Well, actually, the same thing. I don't know. I think she looks like just a clout chaser. Everyone says I'm a clout chaser, but I have my own. Like you just said it, right? And people said it, so he's not a clout chaser. Call it whatever you want. Everybody's seeking some kind of clout, attention, or some kind of validation. Everyone's looking for that in life. But I just get in where I fit in. If I fit in for a little bit, cool. If I don't fit in, I'll remove myself or I'll be kicked out of the way. Doesn't matter. I put myself in the scene to be seen. Other people, they don't belong. They just hang around, hang on, and insert themselves for as long as possible, such as this person that you're speaking of. I don't know her from nothing, but she keeps wanting to do as much as she can to be in the frame. That's a try hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what she does. I don't know what she does. Like, you're going to ask me if she's like running girls or somewhere.
No, I don't know about that aspect. I'm just trying to wonder, me, when it comes, okay, these kids are all babies to me, right? They're like, I'm half 20 years older than them. You know
what seeking is?
Seeking?
Yeah, seeking.
What do you mean? In what context?
Never mind, you would know after it. So seeking arrange is that's not the right word, but something like that. It's a website in which you find a potential date.
Oh, like escorts.
I mean, damn, you ain't gotta say it like that. But yeah. Yeah. So it's that type of website, and these ladies have been featured in said website, and it just came out today. I didn't know that. Stella brought that information out. That fucked me up. Because some of those women I would never expect to put themselves in those situations, and they have. Whether it be a date, whether it be an act, whatever it may be, they shouldn't even be on that app. You feel me?
Yeah.
They're telling me not to get banana because I'm speaking too much shit, but...
I know. I was just thinking that too. I'm like, oh God, I just got my count back. Oh, the Ruby Frankie 2.0. Dang, Bianca. She came out here like heavy with that.
I'll send her some roses so we don't get activated. You can add some people and trigger the algorithm if you want to add some of your people. I don't know how you do that.
I'm scared of what people say because I'm trying to be respectful about it because I honestly am just like more curious about you. Like what I thought you did yesterday was like, yes, we've been waiting for something real to be like, hey, we already thought this, but we didn't have proof on it. So I don't speak on shit I don't got proof on. I am like an OG when it comes, I'm 90s raised, so we like take it back to 97, no cameras type shit, and we're also like try to find the truth. I'm not going to listen to some T-page. I'm not going to listen to some bullshit. I want to show me the actual facts, or it didn't happen. It's just hearsay. And that's what I like to do. And I'm like, who is the real Checkthestar? Because I've seen so many different things of you with the Island Boys, with Dan, with Toxic, the whole thing, like with your baby's mom.
So I got into this business with a guy named Kasky. This started way before any of this. I was on tour with Kasky and MGK back in 2015 in September when I first went to jail. People don't know where I came from, but I've been making music for a really long time. I just got into TikTok because of Joker. You know who Joker is?
Yeah.
Joker is the one that brought me into TikTok. Joker discovered the Island Boys. Then the story tells itself from there. It's a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole. I've seen like the pretty much gist of all that shit. But then I'm like, try to see, because I do want to call out the honorable things that I do see about you. And I make that aware to people too, regardless of what they think about you. It's not going to impact their life. They'll probably never see you in their lifetime. But let's talk about how, you did have a rough life. You did go through a bunch of shit. You had a child, your girlfriend had a child and it wasn't yours. You honorably raised that son as your own, then had a daughter with her. So you're raising these two babies and you're still providing for your baby's mom, regardless of you guys not being together. You still always find a way to make sure she is good and the kids are good. And you guys have like a best friend relationship, where I find that to be honorable, because that's rarity. So I do want to like put that out there too, that you do have something that I see where I'm like, okay, there's more to this guy than I'm seeing. There's a lot more. I mean, he might put some shit out there that isn't true to try to sell some stories, but like, I do believe that there's more to you, and there are good qualities that you have. I'm just like curious now to figure out like where's your end game? Where are you going from here? Because I haven't heard you really put out any music besides that song. I'm gonna tell you, your artist you had on that shit was terrible. The beat, fire. But like the artists where Santos can't rap, and Bris just sounded like ridiculous. So I feel like are you gonna make some more music? Are you gonna do some more collabs on the music side? Like what's the next step for Check?
So I just dropped a mic drop with LRG and a collab for clothing with LRG is coming out next year. All right, it's featured December to January. All right, and it's for the single that I just dropped it, California Dreaming. Like if you go to my Instagram, you'll see it. My end game is my music. I'm just having fun with this streaming. Okay, just entertaining and just kind of poking in. And at the end of the day, I've seen a situation unravel in front of me, and I juiced what I could out of it and got out of it. I mean, let's just be real. If you were in the situation, you probably get what you can and get out. And any normal person would do that. I take my flaws. To whoever doesn't agree, that's fine. But you haven't been in that situation to know that. So, I don't know, man. I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't use no kids. I didn't put no kids in my screen, and I kept it moving. Like, I'm not here to push negativity. I'm here to push the truth. And
yeah, I do see you say that a lot. Like, you don't push the negative parts. You do stay positive on a lot of things, so I give you that too.
That's all in good faith. Like, when I troll, the person knows I'm trolling. Like, I don't mean to, like, really... You don't see me looking for a fight for real. We're just talking. Nobody has to...
I've been purposely staying away from the Aaron Carter, because that's just something that I just don't... I feel like he's talked about Aaron Carter so much that I'm not bringing that back up.
Go watch the Carter story. How about that? Go watch the documentary. His own sister knows what happened. And they talk about it so good that I'm so fucking proud of her, because she talked about it from the internet side all the way to the real side, and how the internet consumed his last days. So I'm going to do that. Start with the negativity that y'all are putting out and the projection y'all putting out, and find answers in that. Straight up.
So there's the Aaron Carter portion, y'all. Everybody kept asking it, so I'm like, I have been purposely just ignoring it, because I don't...
He was my best friend. What do you want me to tell you? He put me on. If you want to talk about the rabbit hole, yes, me and my bro argued. Yeah, my bro let me use his Facebook one time. This is what people love to say. Yeah, he got mad at me. Ain't nothing perfect. That man said, put your music video on my Facebook. I said, okay. Guess what? I clicked the post button 3 times, excited like a kid, and it posted 3 times back to back to back. I'm sure y'all would make the same mistake. Y'all was hanging out with Miley Cyrus or some shit, and you happen to get access to it, and they was like, yeah, just post your shit on there. Like, I was just excited, man. Simple mistake. I apologize. Me and him were still brothers. Like,
what's the documentary called?
Called The Carters. It's about Nick Carter and his sister, which is actually Aaron's twin, Angel Conrad. They And I usually don't promote this shit because I really think that the whole situation is full of shit. But this documentary, I feel like was very wholesome. Like, I don't even like Nick, but I'll say it. It was very wholesome on his side too.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that you at least like had that, because at least somebody has something they can go and take a look at it themselves and go down that. I was more interested in the other portions of it, of what you've been doing in that house and like what you saw there, because I know that there was a lot of chaos going on behind the scenes, and how you are going to like do any, what positive you were going to do with the situation, which you already saw. You started making moves on that. Also, I did have a question about, was there a poll? Did Itai have a poll at some point? What was the metal thing that Chris talked about?
Chris on the phone. Me and Chris spoke on the phone before I made them. I edited everything and had everything ready to go before I made any moves. I called every person. I talked to Chris T. You know Chris, right?
Yes, Chris T, the one that got in the fight. Yeah.
I called him. I actually wrote him. He sent me his number. I called him. Made amends on Good Friday. I was just trying to make amends with as many people as possible. We're not looking to be friends. We don't have to be friends. I called to make amends. And he agreed that I could release the fight. So I did. What is the doc called? It's called The Carters. The Carter documentary. Look it up on Paramount Plus. I think it is. Paramount Plus, guys. I just watched it about 3 days ago. But let our host get herself together. She's doing some things, and let's come back to our conversation. But I highly suggest y'all watch it, especially part 2. Part 2 really gives you an in-depth feel of what you're watching right now.
Yeah, definitely gonna watch that. Sorry about that. My hubby came home from work and we're gonna go do something 'cause it's kind of nice. I'm in New England, so it's like being in like Brick City out here, and it's the first final nice day. So I was like, yep, because he just got done mowing the lawn, so I'm talking about my plans while I'm talking to you. I apologize. But I definitely appreciate you like coming up and like answering questions, and I honestly think that it's awesome that you are willing to put the parts out there, like the girls. I want to go back. I'm hoping a lot of TIK pages clip that, so at least I can go back and watch what Stella said and like what your guys' back and forth was on that. But I just hate it because T pages clip out a lot of the context, so and they spin it, so now you could spin it another way, where if you don't have the full context, you don't get the full story, you know?
Yeah. You're right.
So that's where I'm like, I don't know what to believe, because I'm like, is that the full context, or is there pieces missing? Now I want you to tell me, because I'm not sure, you know?
It's like you have to overlook the character. Like, so we have to be aware that some people play a character even through their awareness, okay? Including myself. I might be in the middle of a battle acting up, and right when I'm done, I'll go back to being myself. So it's about creating that number up there, populating that number up there, and creating that number and then changing it around to serve a positive message. Stella's misunderstood because she sometimes lets that take over her a little bit. And maybe sometimes even a lot of it, okay? Whatever. To each his own. I do it too. We're all human, okay? We all have our flaws, man. Some worse than others. At the end of the day, it's about what we do once the numbers turn. For example, we were bringing awareness. The numbers started going up and down. When the numbers went down to about 300, I noticed Stella started talking about witchcraft and how she had a spell and how Santos and her did a sacrifice. Or she didn't do a sacrifice, Santos did. Like, you would have to watch it and you're going to be like, oh my God, what the hell is that? I would just watch it.
Yeah, because then you're like, okay, this is the part of Stella where I'm like, what's going on? That's weird.
That's where I'm siding with you at, right? Because there's a part in the awareness that throws you off. But that's only when the character gets bored and the character kicks in and goes, you know what, I'm just going to... But in the reality of life, there's other shit at hand that we're bringing awareness to. And I do the same thing. Like, I might switch in the Joker character and be like, you mother trucker, da da da. But in the middle of that shit, I'll be bringing awareness to it. Like, even the video, I said this for awareness purposes, for real, for real. Like, everyone that was doubting Chris, like, I had a friend unalive himself, not Aaron, a friend of mine in my hometown, because he was getting picked on a YouTube video, okay? Imagine I'm sitting here letting people pick on Chris, saying, oh, that's why you got your butt beat and this and that, and he's sitting there going, Same thing with me. Everyone's saying I did this to my best friend or whatever. Like, I'm going like this. Now, what happens if one of us happens to do that? Then we would be held accountable for that. We would have to suffer for that. Like, damn, I've been beating this kid in the head for that long that we all have a breaking point. Like, at the end of the day, we have to be aware of that. Like, for real, for real. That's why I said, you know what? I'm going to open this up. I'm going to post this. I'm going to clear my conscience. I'm going to make peace with Chris. I'm going to let him know I'm sorry of any involvement that I had in it. This is for the people to see it. Is that okay? He said, yeah, go, come on. Send me the clip. I sent him the clip. Put it out.
So at least you put that out there. You got that truth out there. And then, like, you helped out Chris on that portion. I know nobody pressed charges anyways, but at least they got to see the full truth, because we kind of all had that feeling. And I actually honestly thought that it was with Mop too. And then Mighty Hawk Tua came forward and provided the actual video that showed that it was 1v1. And then I heard Mop say that it was 1v1, and Mop said, hey, I took the L. I shouldn't have gone there. I thought it was honorable that both Chris and Mop had stated, hey, we went there. And honestly, if you showed up to my house, I promise you wouldn't leave the way they did.
That's the only thing that I said. And even in the videos, I'm saying, bro, leave. Like, someone call the cops, because I don't want this to get to where people get hurt in the hills. Like, seriously, go. You're pulling up to someone's residence. God forbid a neighbor comes out and sees an altercation. The neighbor can do something too. That's where I started going, whoa, this is more serious than y'all. Y'all are kids. That's why I was like, y'all go. Hey, I started, if you want to hear the audio, I'm screaming the whole time. I'm like, yo, go. Yo, we don't have to call the cops. Like, deadass. Like, anything to strike fear into Chris's head. But he was a bull. He was ready to go 1v1. That's why I give Chris his courage. He didn't care.
I don't think they cared because they showed up to the house. Like, nobody pulls up to someone's house unless you don't care.
Chris talked to me. Chris said that he pulled up because Santos kept calling him privately. They were on live. I guess Chris Two Different said, you guys are PUSSYs. You went all the way across the country, didn't do nothing. Long story short, made Mott feel like the big dog. He had to go. Chris felt like he had to go. One followed the other. They pulled up. I admire that. They pulled up. I wouldn't have. They pulled up. Whatever. They had their boys back. But it could have been a lot worse. What if those Powerpuff Girls weren't Powerpuff Girls? What if that would have been Superman and Batman and Iron Man? What if they would have beat you up for real? And God bless you. Like, God bless you guys, because I'm so glad no one bashed a bottle on your head or did something. You was talking about the pole. Chris told me at the end of the hill that Itai was swinging a pole at him. At the end of the hill, I didn't get a video.
No.
So I don't have that. Okay? But Chris did tell me that did happen. And I heard Santos on the stream say, Check got a video of when you swung the pole. And Itai said, no, shut up, cállate. So off of my knowledge of what I am seeing and hearing, it seems that Itai had a pole that he was swinging at Chris, though never made contact with Chris. That's what
but
Chris
you never saw it, so it's hearsay.
I didn't see it. This is all me making my own assumption.
Now,
Chris,
in your video, that fight video, now, was it just originally just Travis first fighting, or that was the beginning of that fight with Chris?
no, when I walked out, Travis and Chris were already fighting. And then Santos was already done fighting Mop and coming up the hill. I didn't know Mop was even down there. Real shit. Till we're back in the house. And I'm yelling at Santos. Me and Santos are actually arguing in the house. And I'm going, why the hell didn't you tell me Mop was here? I didn't know any of this. He got the call from Chris. Chris ran downstairs. He ran downstairs to Chris. I ended up fighting Mop while Chris was recording.
But you also called like Mop like a million times that night. I was like, what's...
I was gonna fight him because they made a post about them popping bottles at the club called Warwick, and they were telling me to pull up to Warwick, and they said we dropped the location, blah blah blah. It was all banter. It was back and forth banter. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna call while I'm on live. I'm being told on my live, yo, they posted they posted the location. Pull up to Warwick. I'm on live. People were telling me, go to Warwick, go to Warwick, go to Warwick. I'm like, all right, watch this. And I call while I'm on live, and I do my little bluff. I'm like, yeah, pull up, come up the hill, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going down there. I'm not going in public. Boom. Finally got the answer, and it wasn't even him. It was a third party saying we're not dealing with that, whatever. But I'm sitting here going, why are you popping bottles saying pull up to Warwick? Either way, it stands on this. Chris, Mott, Santos. Those are the three people that handled their business. If I would have known, then okay, you could blame me too. But I walked out last. I didn't know their presence being there. I didn't know they were coming. Nobody called me. Mop has my number. That's where this whole thing has been confusing to me. I feel like I just got the back end of it.
I just thought there was beef between you and Mop because of Toxic. So is that where the
That's
original?
what I originally thought.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That's what I originally thought. But then this man says he has beef with Mop over his child. I don't know what he's talking about, but apparently he said something about his child. That's why my heart was in it, because once I went at it with him about Toxic, he said, I got enough money to buy your whole family. Your kids are dirty, dusty ass motherfucker. So when he said that to me, I said, oh, I have it on text. For anybody that says I'm a liar, I have it on text. So when I come out with the receipts.
Yeah, you talk about people's family. That's a line that's, yeah. Nope. Oh, Chris is up in here now.
Look, because I come with the receipts. I don't know. Hold on.
Chris, we've been
I can buy you and your, but that's behind us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's how it
thank
began.
you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate you.
Guys, thank you guys. You can bring Chris in here. That's how it began. And I don't have, this is the point, is I'm trying to put all this to the side so that the best of this situation can come to rise. Period. I said what happened. I said what I seen, and that's it.
Chris, if you want to come up, you're more than welcome to come up at any point. I'm not bringing just random people up right now just because I don't want it to be chaos. It's been very calm conversation, and I like that. I hate the noise.
You can even ask Chris, like, for everybody that keeps saying I was the one that pushed the envelope, I think the men can understand. Yes, I did push it, but the last stand stands on the people that actually went there. Chris called Santos. Santos came out. They got into a squabble. Did Chris lose? We already seen he didn't. He kept getting back.
Chris is a damn beast. Chris went out there like, I will fight the world. That is the kind of friend you have, man.
I told him on the phone. I told him on live, like, mother trucker, you wasn't going down. For real. Like, they had to roll him over like a cow. 3 people had to roll him over to even try to get on top of him, and he got back up.
I'm like curious because they all said that Jordan's dad got involved too, and I didn't see that. So, is that true? Did Jordan's dad get involved too?
He came in. He walked down the hill. He didn't touch anybody though.
Yo, I'm with family right now, but I just wanted to, so I'm gonna hop off. I just ended my live. All I wanted to say was though, I don't care what nobody says at this point. Me and Check had talked off the internet, and we had a whole conversation, private conversation that nobody knows about off the internet, and both gave respect where it was due, and both talked about, shit we had said to each other that was right, that was wrong, cleared that up. Shit's in the past. Me and Check both said to each other, we ain't friends, but we're civil. This is about maturity and adulting. This ain't about dragging shit on. This ain't about, putting our nose where it don't belong. So right here, I'm going to say it too. Check has my respect right now because Check came. Yeah, it took a little bit, but I told Check straight on the phone. I said, listen, at that time, you thought those people had your back. You thought they were your friends. I would have done the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys could look at it like, oh, he lied. He did this, he did that. But you have to realize, as a friend, as a good friend, what are you going to do? You're going to defend your friends who you think are your friends at that time. Now the truth's coming to light, right? So Check realized those people ain't for him. They're not in his corner. They're not backing him. Why the fuck would he back them? Right? So now he's coming forward with the truth. Yeah, it took a little long, but guess what? He still stood up and came forward with the truth finally. So guess what? He got my respect.
But Chris, you said that too. You said the truth will prevail, and it did.
And it did. Exactly. And it's as simple as that. So y'all can have these hate comments and be like, oh, he lied, he did this, he did that. But guess what? Any person who thinks that somebody else has their back and you think they're your friend in that time, you're going to stand up for it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, oh shit, I'm going to have their back because they just, fucked with me for a little bit. They let me come there and they let me vibe. But guess what? He realized they weren't for him and he came forward with the truth. So that got my respect. Simple as that.
Well, Chris, I thank you for coming up and listen. We're rooting on you and Allison. Okay, we team Allison here.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Both of you. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great
enjoy your party.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm with family right now. I'm just hanging out. So I hope you guys
Easter
both
weekend, man. Happy Easter to you and the fam.
Definitely, you guys as well, and have a great time with your family this weekend too.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you.
Yeah. That was awesome. At least he got to come up and say his piece of it. And hey, you guys heard it here first. They squashed the beef. There's no beef. There's no drama. He respected everything that he did. And like he said, hey, he had his friends back. He had his friends back until he realized that they were not the friends that he thought that they were. So, I mean, that was honestly the most awesome thing, because I did trust a lot of Chris's words. He's always proven to be a guy of valor, and for him to come out and say he has no beef with Check, that alone, like, just spoke very loudly for me.
If I can help any situation, I will. But all I can say is, I'm not guilty by association. I'm guilty by my actions. That's how I like to put it. That statement is like easier said than done. Like that guilty by association thing, yeah, but until proven guilty. You understand? Like I could be around a bunch of pagans, but that doesn't mean I'm a pagan. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to compare
I mean, you've also been around long enough to know that, guilty by association. A lot of people, this, Check the most. Everybody watches how you present yourself, and in their mind, they've already formed an opinion, not even knowing any sort of truth. That's just the sad reality of life.
Perception. But at the end of the day, I'm going to come out with the truth, no matter what. And like bro said, the truth will come out. I've always said the same thing. That's how I feel about it. Even if I am wrong at the time, I'll take the L for the moment because I know the W's coming.
Yeah, Chris said it's all about growth and self-value, and that's all coming to light. Yeah. I agree. And you did the right thing by putting it out there and saying, hey, this wasn't right. I didn't have any part of it. Like I said, I tried to tell you guys I didn't have no parts of this, and you did, and you dropping that, I was like, okay, Check, like, seriously, that spoke so loud, and I was like, okay, so he is a way different person than I thought. Like, all right, different, because we observe, right? And like I said, I'm a factual person. I don't want to hear some bullshit T page that could clip and chop things to make it in a different way. I want to hear the whole thing, and I want to hear it come from the person who's involved, because you were there. I wasn't,
I wish Aaron could say he didn't do it. So the only thing I could do is just say, yo, Chris didn't get beat up. Do you get me? Like,
no one's ever going to really know about Aaron, but Aaron was partying. Aaron was doing, he was living in that.
I'm using it as an example. I can't do nothing to save me. No one can have my back on the worst thing that hurts me, right? If this was eating Chris up, we don't know this man. I don't know this man. Honestly, I don't. He knows he didn't take an L that night, but his pride might have been hurt. We're men. Our pride, our ego, it gets hurt. It gets damaged. I don't know what his life is like hearing, oh yeah, that's why you got beat up by this guy or whatever. And he's seriously explaining it every day or whatever. You know what? It's cleared. He didn't get beat up. He could have. He didn't.
Yeah, true.
By God's good grace, he did not get beat up. He didn't alter the situation. He didn't pick up no devices. He didn't pick up no objects. He walked away from the situation like a champ. I give it to him, but I would have been raging. I know anybody here in this chat would have been raging, picking up something, bringing cars involved, like bringing all their homeboys. He came independently without any weapons, with just his friend after a good drunken night at the club. I'm not mad at the dude. I'm not. I'm actually glad he didn't call me. Like, by God's good grace, I'll say this. I'm glad Mop didn't call me and come outside. Because this wouldn't be a learning lesson for me. I would have fought Mop. Santos would have fought Chris. Everybody would have jumped each other. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad that you didn't get involved in that part, too, because I have a problem when anybody jumps anybody. Like, handle it 1v1, or, like, what's the whole point? Like, that, to me, is automatic. Like, you a P for that. Like, that whole situation, when you put it to light like that, we all kind of assumed, but I didn't have facts. And that was like, wow, we assumed. And I'm like, you said, Powerpuff Girls. Let's just be thankful that none of those guys know how to do anything of value, because it would have been very bad for Chris, Chris walked away with just a black eye. I think he took the freaking W on that.
That was from a kick. It wasn't from any connection. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it could have been bad. It could have. And that's what I kept thinking about. It's like, bro, just be glad you made it home. Like, people say, yo, what happened?
No phone either. When I got so like raging when I saw E-Type pick up that phone and chuck it. Like, one, I was amazed that he could even see straight to throw the phone. But two, like, I was like, holy crap!
Me and Bris said the same thing. Like, how do you get this aim?
Yeah, I was like, how did he see to even throw that? It was pretty dead accurate. I was real lost. I was like, okay, he got lucky. But I appreciate you coming up and answering some questions. I'm not over here, like I said, like it's to us, it's like a soap opera that we watch and we're like, ooh, what's going on? What's going on today? But it is your guys' real lives. And we're just like, you know, when I watch it and I just try to find out what's the truth, because people be spinning shit crazy and overthink things, or they don't have enough facts, or there is an abundance of facts. And I'm just over here like, well, what's the truth? I'm just trying to watch this novela because it's the best that we got, and at least I know it's live. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
But you guys have to live this life, and so I couldn't imagine, like, even the TTS to me. Like, I could give a fuck what someone thinks about me. However, I don't want to hear 8 hours of someone shitting on me and saying the worst possible things that aren't true, that are like so brutal. It's like, dang, that's not even good for anybody's mental to be hearing them just constantly just shitting on you.
That's what they know. That's what they know best. So I'll give you an example, right? Me and Jordan talked about this, and I've already spoken on this. Bree's main thing, why I was featured on Bree's stream as much as I was, is because people like to say I hurt Aaron. So because people like to say that, they'll pay just to hear that thing say that. They would put me on the stream just to make money off the TTS.
Oh yeah, because you were they were coming at you heavy in the TTS system.
Correct. So this has all been like a whole little game. It's bigger than just internet. It's bigger than just a fight. It's bigger than clout. It's literally exactly what y'all said it was. I just didn't realize it till today. Like, to that level when Stella started coming out with the truth of what the hell she was experiencing on the back end when I wasn't there. And she has a camera. She has a camera that recorded everything for the 4 days or 3 days she was there, whatever. She recorded every single, it's motion detector. So anytime anybody came in, including myself, it's all recorded. Except for, I was paranoid when I was telling her the truth about how I felt and I wanted to leave. And I said, please disconnect the camera so I can talk to you. And then me and her had a real one-on-one where I was like, we got to get up out of here, dude.
So, what was I going to ask you about that part two when it came down to the, what did you see Santos where he commented and said that?
Thank you, gotcha, because you won't hear my name mentioned because that had nothing to do with it. That's why I keep saying it.
Santos was saying that you told him that you did. And that's why I was like, why would Santos come out and say that unless he had some sort of like proof to back that up?
This is how it happened. I'm on Kick. I had my little 150 people, you know, good little fan work, you know, my main core people that like me. I said, hey, let's troll Bree today. Everybody go to Bree's page on Kick, and I started restreaming Bree on my Kick. And I said, everybody go tell her Check. Go tell her Check is better than Santos. I want y'all to trigger Santos. So if y'all watch the chat's saying Check over Santos, Check. They're just spamming check to get their attentions. Once Santos goes like this, if you see, he looks, he gets mad. He goes, yeah, that's why he da-da-da-da-da-da. Word vomit to try to get a clip. The second he said that, I said, everyone, make sure you send me that clip. Put it on his channel. Clip it. Whoever just caught that, clip it. Because that helps me with me. I'm not going to speak much on it. That helps me with me. I know what I've done. And Checkthestar is a licensed liability company that makes money. And if you dare even try to defame my name without any valid proof or substance, we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to give you...
We're going to throw that out for you, too, on a positive note. When it comes to legalities, bro, you've done your research. There's a lot of people that clearly haven't, and that's why I don't feel bad for the Island Boys, and I don't feel bad for, like, the New. And honestly, like, you could honestly go and take the other song, too, at this rate, because people don't know what their rights are, and they're not trying to protect themselves, because defamation and slander will ruin you. You know, that's a big thing of a lot of people coming to me. Did you see that Check did this? And I'm like, that's not the full context. Where's the rest of it? Because there's something missing. It doesn't make sense. So I question things, but there's so many people that believe it.
So love, I'm sorry. So ma'am, there's a certain point, and I love this about the Aaron Carter documentary, and I like to voice this. There's a certain point where the bullied becomes the bully. There's a certain point where a person takes so much that they're already on the defensive, and people are like, what's wrong with him? But you don't know the full story, so you don't know how they got to being so aggressive every day. Maybe this person was a nice person for 3, 5, 7, 18 years, but all of a sudden, this one day he broke, And he's just been negative Nancy now for a week because he can't take it no more. And now he's not the bullied. He became the bully accidentally. And I'm not making excuses. I want y'all to understand how this works. This is a psychological problem that happens to everyone. Thank you so much, Jessica Lynn. Thank you. And they voiced that in the Aaron Carter documentary. He went from being the bullied, where people were calling him a, I don't want to say the wrong word because of sensitivity issues. I love TikTok Shop. They would call him a rug asic, and they would say he looks bad in physique. They would say horrible things about him, like he went from an A-lister to a D-League to, you know, you're dancing now, to just picking apart the fact that this was a freaking magnitude of a superstar. You get the feeling, when you watch that video, you get the feeling of being a 9-year-old going, wow, I